God is sending you real love. But the problem is, when it shows up, it's not going to feel the way you think it should. And if you're not careful, you're going to walk past it. I really feel like someone needs to hear this today. You've been praying for something real. You've almost convinced yourself that it's not coming. But God is saying it's closer than you think. But you're going to have to let go of what you thought it would feel like to recognize what I'm actually sending. Because what God has for you is going to feel different than everything you've experienced. And different doesn't always feel good at first. And the thing that I've seen happen over and over again is that someone prays for a godly partner. They ask for something healthy, something real, something that would last. And then God sends it. They meet someone who's calm, consistent. They know where they stand with this person. There's no guessing games, no drama, no chaos. But instead of feeling relief, they feel nothing. Or worse, they feel bored. They start thinking, maybe this isn't it. Maybe there's supposed to be something more of a spark. So then they walk away from the very thing they prayed for. And it's not because it was wrong, but because their nervous system was calibrated to something else entirely. And so what I realized is that their brain learned what love feels like from past relationships. If those relationships were intense, dramatic, unpredictable, their brain associated those feelings with love. So when God sends them something calm and steady, their brain literally doesn't recognize it. So now they find themselves questioning whether this love is real, but it's not that the love is not real, it's that their detector is broken. So let me tell you what God's version of love actually looks like, because it's probably not what you've been taught to chase. Real love is calm. It's not boring, it's calm. There's a difference. Boring is absence of interest. Calm is the presence of peace. And we find ourselves confusing the two. And with that, it's that you're not constantly on the edge wondering where you stand. You're not managing their emotions or walking on eggshells. You're just at peace together. And real love is consistent. You don't have to guess what version of them you're getting today. They show up the same whether things are good or bad, whether things are easy or difficult. They love you when you perform well and when you're a mess. Real love is reciprocal. You're not doing all the work while they coast. The energy flows both ways. Nobody's carrying the relationship alone. Real love is safe enough for honesty. You can disagree without it meaning that the relationship would end. You can have needs without shame. You can be imperfect without rejection. But if you've only known intensity, it's going to feel flat. If you've only known chaos, it's going to feel like something's missing. Your brain will literally tell you this isn't love. Therefore, you have to know the difference. And the difference between your conditioning and your discernment. Just because something doesn't feel exciting doesn't mean it's not exactly what you asked God for. 1 Corinthians 13 describes love as patient, kind, not easily angered, keeping no records of wrongs. And notice what's not on the list: intensity, drama, butterflies, the anxious feeling in your stomach that you've mistaken for chemistry. If you're realizing your template for love got built in the wrong relationships, and those patterns are still affecting how you see people, that's what Close the Door walks you through. It's an ebook that I wrote. It's 90 days of actually rewiring how you recognize and receive healthy love. God's definition of love is about character. So then, how do you actually receive this when it comes? How do you not sabotage the very thing you've been praying for? Now, first, you have to recognize that your feelings aren't always reliable reporters. Your nervous system got trained in dysfunction. So when it says, this doesn't feel like love, that might actually be evidence that it is love, the healthy kind you've never experienced. Second, you have to give it time. Real intimacy doesn't come from dramatic moments. It comes from consistent presence, from being boring together and still feeling connected, from building something instead of just surviving something. Ooh. But this requires something hard. It requires you to trust that God knows better than your feelings do. It requires you to stop chasing what feels familiar and start choosing what's actually good. So when God sends you real love, your job isn't to test it against your old template. Forget about the old things. Your job is to receive it with a renewed mind. Romans 12 verse 2 says it so well. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That renewal includes how you define love, how you recognize love, how you receive love. One thing that God will not do is sending you a repeat of your past. He's sending you something new. And new is going to feel unfamiliar. New is going to require that you step out into the unknown. And it's going to cause discomfort. And that is not a red flag. That's the point. Change is uncomfortable. I need you to declare this with me. I am ready to receive real love. I will not reject what God sends me because it doesn't match my past. My mind is renewed. I recognize healthy love and I receive it fully. Now, if you're realizing that you've been looking for the wrong feelings instead of the right fruit, type "I'm ready for real love" in the comments. Now, here's what I didn't cover. There's a specific reason why you keep being attracted to the wrong kind of intensity. And it has to do with patterns that your brain built in past relationships that are still running in the background. And that's exactly what I break down in the video showing up on your screen right now.